Okay, am I audible, Pilamani? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Chat box and write whether I'm audible or not. It's not clearly audible. I'm not clearly audible, Pilamani.
Yeah, madam.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So we'll start. My PPT is visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So we'll start. Okay. In the last class, we had a little bit discussion on this particular point. If you remember, I made a chart to all of you. Yes, components. I made a chart for all of you, and we'll had a discussion on what exactly the different components we had. Fine. Up till that we covered. So today we will go for the elaboration. If you remember, we discussed that while we're talking about the different components of Indian financial system, it was considering four different components. Component one is financial market. Component two is your financial institution. Component three is your financial instruments, and component four is your financial services. Looking for, apart from these four components, we have one more component, which are the regulatory authorities that is also being discussed by us. The regulatory authority is also a kind of a component we have already discussed. Now, what is the work of the regulatory authorities? Anyone? What exactly the work of the regulatory authorities?
It forms rules and regulation for the smooth functioning.
Yes, very good. While we are talking about the regulatory authorities, specifically regulatory authorities are a kind of authority which deals or try to control the whole financial system. Now, some of the financial system, what we are really looking for, the financial systems are quite very safe in terms of investment, in terms of getting
ଗୋଟେ ବେଳେ ପଟାଉଣ ବୋଲି ହେଲା କାମ ଥିଲା ପଟାଉଣ ବୋଲି କାମ ଥିଲା ଖରା ଗରମ ବାବୁ ମନେ ରହିବୁ ଏଇଥିରେ ଆମେ କାମ କରୁଛୁ ଫୋନ କଲେ ସେ ତପନ ମୁଁ କହିଲି ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ମୁଁ ସେଇଠି ଯା
Thank you. Thank you. Muted yourself, otherwise I'll have to mute you. Okay. So while we're talking about the regulatory authorities, remember regulatory authorities are responsible for various activities. The various activities related to how to conduct the financial system in a smooth way so that every particular individual who is attached with every individual who is attached with the financial system, maybe is an investor, he's a financer, or might be he's an investment organization or an individual household, or are becoming, beneficial of from the financial system. Apart from that, this is not only one particular work. Financial systems regulatory authority also had some specific work like controlling the whole financial system, try to reduce the risk of the individual so that the investor feel free risk free while he was making investment. So these are certain, investment opportunities, creating investment opportunities, also one of the work of the financial system. So ame kochu financial system re jo regulatory authorities achanti, so might be is RBI or SEBI, or most popular like RBI, SEBI or IIT of India. ଏମାନଙ୍କର କାମ ରହିଲା କଣ, ଏମାନଙ୍କ କାମ specifically they try to control. They try to control the financial system. They try to control the whole environment of finance. They try to reduce the risk and all. It ହେଲା regulatory authority ର କାମ. But moving towards the components, various components of the financial system. So came to the first financial system component, that was called the component of
ଖାଲି ଖାଲି କଣ ପକେଇଦେବି?
ଆପଣ ମାନେ ନିଜକୁ ମ୍ୟୁଟ ଯଦି କରିଦିଅନ୍ତେ ବେଟର ହୁଅନ୍ତାନି? So Kishore Kumar Babu, please mute yourself because ମତେ ନହେଲେ ଖୋଜି ଖୋଜି ଜଣ ଜଣଙ୍କୁ mute କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ. Fine. Okay. So while we're talking about financial market, fine, ଆମେ individual components ବିଷୟରେ କଥା ହେବା. What exactly financial market is all about? Financial market is a market where a buyer sells the seller. ଆମେ market ବିଷୟରେ ପଢିଛୁ, and while we're talking about what is a market, simply we say that market is a place where buyer meet the seller. Now, according to you, is it the right definition of the financial market? No. Here we say that if you look to the slide, the marketplace where buyers and sellers interact with each other and participate in the trading of money, bonds, shares, options, futures, etc., other assets are called a financial market. Now, here it is not only buying and selling is being occurred. It is somehow be called as a kind of interaction between the two parties who try to sell the product and the party who tries to buy the product. But in particular time, it was not only buying and selling, but also it was called participation on trading. Participation on trading କହିଲେ କଣ ବୁଝେ? ଯେମିତି ନେଇଯାଆନ୍ତୁ, Mr. A is buying a security of Mr. X company. Now, until unless the Mr. X company was not closed down, the product was open in the market. Fine. So এটা Mr. A କଣ କରିବ? Mr. B କୁ ବିକିବ. Mr. B, Mr. C କୁ ବିକୁଛି, Mr. C, Mr. D କୁ ବିକୁଛି. But if the company was closed down in a certain way because of it is sick or something like that, ସେତେବେଳେ କଣ ହଉଛି ନା ଆମେ product ଟା sell back ହେଇଯାଉଛି. Got it? ଯଦି company close ହଉନି, in any way company was open for throughout some like 30 years, like 40 years, like 50 years, then the product only transferred. It was being traded from one person to another person. It was moved from one person to another person. Fine. Vinayak, TK. Fine. So this is what we call a kind of a trading. So it was not only buying and selling of the financial product, but also it was transferring the financial product from one person to another person, then another to next person. So until unless the stock was not closed down. But while we're talking about RBI, kind of a institution is RBI, jotiki buying and selling of the products ame dekhuchu. Got it? So this is what called the financial market. Now came into the next component, that was called financial institutions. Now, what is financial institution? While we're talking about a market, in a particular market, we are seeing a large number of institutions. I mean, market re jo dekhuche, karana in India we do have a financial market which do not have a physical physical availability. I mean, emiti market dekhuchu jara physical existence nahi, jemti ki money market. We do not have a physical existence of money market. Right? So while we're talking about selling of products, while we're talking, Ashok Babu, okay, so this is the best way to handle. I'll have to mute all of you. Now, while we're talking about financial institution, remember financial institution is a certain kind of institution who what is being available in the market and who sells the product on behalf of the market. On behalf of the market, these are the institution who sells various kind of products, various kind of services, right? So while we're talking about the what are the main function of these financial institutions, the main function that this particular market concerned with the short-term liabilities, which can be converted into long-term investment. Second, function, if you say that it helps in conversion of risky investment into the risk-free investment. Third, it also acts as a medium of convention or dominance, which means it can match to a small deposits with a large loans and the large deposits with a small loan. So it was somehow convertible or convertible. So these are the some of the examples of the financial institution. So financial institution ra kamo hela kono na jette bhi term liabilities achi or short term liabilities achi, it should be converted to investment. Liabilities are not good, so it should be turned to investment. And it helps in conversion to risky investment into risk-free investment. Jete bhi risk investment rahibo, there is a risk must be associated with the product, with the product always. So as a investor, आमे समस्त चाहूँ कि आमे एमती जगह इन्वेस्टमेंट करूँ जोठी हमको कम रिस्क बेयर करियो पड़िबो, अधिक लाभ होबो, या तो फिर जीरो रिस्क रे अधिक लाभ होबो. Now always it is not possible. सबबेले तो एटा possible नुई कि zero risk होबो. So definitely risk is there. You can't say that कि risk नहीं और risk होबनी. नहीं, risk तो रहिबो, so we can't handle that. But how to reduce that risk to a certain level? That is what the financial institution is always looking for. कि ସେମାନେ risk to reduce करिवे, तो they will ask for insurance. So in that way risk will be reduced. They will ask for the speculations, good speculation, jadi bhala speculations, good speculations. And on base of that speculation, you will buy the product, you will sell the product. Then also you will be feel little bit less risky. That means what? Somehow it will reduce the risk on the head of the individual investors. So it will be a purposeful work of the financial institution. Na medium to convert kaha ko na small deposits को large loan रे, large loan को small deposits रे से convert करियो, try करियो, so that it will be beneficial for the economic development. This is what the financial institution. Moving one step ahead, now financial institution रे बिक्री कौन होची? Financial institution रे कौन बिक्री होची? Financial institution रे बिक्री होची instruments. So instruments actually the product which is available for all of us to make investment. Instrument रा काम कौन? ना एथि कोन होची ना जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट बिक्री होची, that is for all the people who really looking forward to make investment. जो माने investment करिया को चाहूचंती, so सेमाने कोन करबे, they'll have to buy the instrument from the institutions, and these instruments will give you certain kind of benefit with a kind of investment. So look to this slide, what it is written. The products which are traded in the financial market is called the financial assets or financial instruments, which are based on different requirements and needs of the individual, needs of the credit seekers, needs of the security market, and needs of the each and every particular person. So financial instruments kemiti bana hue, how it was being invented, ajika date re, if you see, there is huge broadening of the financial instruments. That is, provisions of funds are very huge. Now, why provisions of funds are very huge? Because day to day life re apan dekhantu ama samastakara requirement or needs towards the financial products changes, fine. So we look for the innovative products, we look for the short term products, we look for the more risk free products, we look for the product where my money will grow from in a very acceleration way. So ame samaste purposefully which innovative products chahunchu. So that's why in financial instruments the products are move on with an upward direction with an innovation. And that's why, basing on or identifying every individual's need, day by day, the financial instruments or financial products are being created by the financial institution, and it has to be liberated to, or it has to be came to the market for the benefit of the people. Got it? So this is what financial instrument. Moving one step ahead, that was called what is financial services. Now, while screen re janaka na dekhoche Mr. Ashok. Like Mr. Ashok is buying a product. So that product is a recurring deposit, or maybe a Kishan Vikas Patra, or maybe equity share. ଆପଣ କୌଣସି ବି ନେବେ या तो फिर ଗୋଟେ insurance product. So Mr. Ashok କଣ କଲେ କିଛି ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ savings ଅଛି ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ଝାଳ ବୁହା ଦନ ଆମେ କହୁ, so ସେ savings ରୁ କିଛି ନେଇକି ନା investment କଲେ either in RBI or in stock exchange or in IRD of India. ସେତେବେଳେ savings କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ in return କଣ ମିଳୁଛି? Financial services ମିଳୁଛି. That services which maybe came to you as an interest, or maybe came to you as a financial benefit, or maybe came to you as a financial claim, or might be came to you as a debenture. So that we are getting after a certain time period of an investment. So that is what called the financial services. And as we have already discussed that financial services is being divided into two parts, that was called fund-based services and fee-based services, or fund-based or non-fund-based. Fund-based and non-fund-based, or fund-based or fee-based. As we have already discussed, fund-based means what? Like same name as Mr. Ashok is having an insurance, a term life insurance, and the term is for 12 years, and he was this paying an installment of 2,000 rupees quarterly in a year, and it is an insurance of like for 10 lakhs and all. With the maturity, Mr. Ashok not only get the principal amount but also get some of the benefits, some kind of benefits what is being associated with that particular insurance company. So he will get. भगवान ना करंतु Mr. X जे insurance किनुचंती तांकर जदि unnatural death होची, accidental death होची, then his family after his dismiss, his family is having financial benefit or financial claim or financial security, whatever you can say, from that insurance company, so that it was not fulfill the gap of that person. But remember, finance is one thing, money is one thing which create your life little bit easier. So after that fellow person, after Mr. X, might be the life is become little bit easier for the family when they are getting this particular amount of money. Got it? So that was called fund-based services. And as I have already told you that what is fee-based services? Fee-based services where we are not opting we are not making any investment in fund. Ame kono se investment fund re karuno. It is only a kind of a money that we pay to make a rental as a rental to facilitate certain kind of services, to avail certain kind of services. Ame jitale certain kind of services ko avail karuchu, for that certain amount of money that we have to pay, and that is what called the fee-based services. So here we need to pay a fee, a full-fledged fee to enjoy the services, to have a services. That is the whole difference between fund-based services and fee-based services. More probably, this paper will be taken care by Officer. So he will be going to make you a kind of elaboration of all fee-based and fund-based services, examples, and that particular paper. Fine, we will not looking forward to that paper. Now, came to what is exactly the functions of the financial system. There are several functions. Fine, I'll just make out with some of the functions out of that several ones. So first one, this financial system is act as an intermediation. So financial system is act as an intermediation who try to connect the savers to the investors. So those who are making saving, tanka saita investors ko they will try to make a bridge between these two parties. Kaha saita na savers or investors vitare they will try to make a bridge. Got it? So that was called intermediation. Then we have capital formation. Now, what do you understood by capital formation? Capital formation is something which is familiar. It's a very familiar term. Because I first semester to capital formation kon. Capital formation kon. Why it is required? I muted. I try to unmute.
means to create
What do you
fund.
Ma'am,
understood
from
by
giving loan, ma'am. Ma'am, from giving loan to the customer.
giving loan to the customer? Okay. Capital formation. Yes, very good. Yes. Anyone else?
Creating funds.
Creating funds. Very good.
Ma'am, through FD, RD.
Okay. Through investment and savings. Anything else?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else want to answer, or I'll continue? Okay. While we're talking about this particular concept, the concept is what do you understood by formation of capital and why it is required. Remember, while we start a company, what a small company upon start karibe as a finance manager, as a financial manager of that particular company, first upon darkar kon, upon darkar finance or paisa to make, to run, to start a venture, a project, organization. Semti bhabantu gote country jedi rahichi, it is highly essential that the country should form some certain kind of capital to run its business. Fine. So formation of capital is very essential. It was somehow accelerate the economic development. Jodi apan koibe yes, it will accelerate the economic development. Kemti accelerate kochi? Nei jantu Bharat pakhre paisa nei, India pakhre paisa nei to run the country. Heichi aguru apan mane bhi jani chandi, if you have a little bit information and knowledge about the financial reformation and all, aji mo padhebi. Setole bi amar India pakhre paisa nathila. So ଯେତେବେଳେ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ ପାଖରେ ପଇସା ନାହିଁ ଟୁ ରନ୍ ଦି କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିକୁ ରନ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ କଣ ଦରକାର ପଇସା ଦରକାର ଅଛି, କାରଣ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ସବସିଡିଜ ଦଉଛି, ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ସେକ୍ଟରକୁ ଦେଖୁଛି, ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଏଗ୍ରିକଲଚରାଲ ଲୋନ ଦଉଛି ୱିଥ ହାଇ ସବସିଡିଜ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଅଲ୍, ସେ ସବୁ ପାଇଁ ପଇସା ଦରକାର. ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ଭେରି ଏସେନ୍ସିଆଲ that the country should have a minimum amount of funds so that he could able to make all these activities in a smooth way. Fine. So ସେଥିପାଇଁ ପଇସା ଦରକାର. ପଇସା ଆସିବ କୋଉଠୁ? ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ପାଖରେ ପଇସା କେମିତି ଆସିବ ନା, because in two way, if you remember in BE I told you that there are two basic way through which government can create money, that is through licensing and through taxation. Our government earning kon? Apart from that, there is no earning from government. But government create this financial institution who could able to create money and run the whole financial environment of the government. So first one is RBI. RBI, so apan mane bahut popular terms sunithibe, CRR and SLR, like repo and all. So these are some of the foreign reserves. These are some of the terms through which RBI tried to create money, to try to form the capital. Apart from that, if you see the stock exchange kemti capital formation koruchi. So stock exchange capital formation koruchi through registering the companies into the stock exchange. That was called basic terms, that is called listing of securities. Fine. Listing of securities is one of the best way to make or form capital. Kemti na apan jetale company gote SEBI under registered hochi, he has to pay a nominal amount, that is 25,000 rupees to enter to stock exchange. Once it is entered, then you have to open your shares. And opening of shares from it was started from 10,000 to 3,70,000, which is the highest amount that a company has to pay if he will open a share. That was 500 crore. ଯଦି ଆପଣ 500 କୋଟି ଟଙ୍କାର ସେୟାର ଓପନ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ଫି ପେ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ଷ୍ଟକ୍ ଏକ୍ସଚେଞ୍ଜ କୁ, which is 3,70,000, which is the highest. And ଯଦି ଆପଣ 10,000 minimum ଟା ହେଲା 10,000 ରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଇକି 3,70,000 पर्यंत अच्छी. जदि आपण आजिका डेट रे हमें कहूँ more than 11,000 companies are being registered in stock exchange. So remember how much capital is being formed through the listing of securities or by discharging of these securities in the stock exchange. So this is how we called capital formation was made through the financial system. Third asila, financial system always looking for the creation of monetary policy implementation. Monetary policy is created by whom? Monetary policy is created by whom?
Ma'am, RBI.
Very good. Yes, it was created by RBI, but it is the duty of the financial system that the monetary policy should be implemented and controlled in a proper way. Then mobilization and allocation of saving. ଯେମିତି କି ଆମେ ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଯଦି ସେଭିଂସ୍ କିଛି ରଖୁଛୁ କୋଉଠି, if you save something, it has to be properly mobilized, it has to be properly allocated so that this mobilization, this allocation can create, your saving move towards upgradation, and the people of India should feel, feel free and feel attracted towards investment. जदि पैसाटा अपग्रेडेड न हबो काई ना आपण 100 टंका लगेइचंदी कोठी गोटे आपण वर्षे पर 100 टंका पाइले तो लाभ कोन लगेबार आपण कहि मु घरे रख नथांती कि पैसा मु तो पाखरे कहीं रखी काई जदि 100 टंका आपण जोटा इन्वेस्टमेंट करचंदी सेटा आफ्टर अ मंथ 110 रुपीस होची 115 रुपीस होची then you say yes, my money is increasing. That is what the major work of financial system, to look after this particular prospect, that how the money will increase so that people do have a info towards investment. That was called proper mobilization and allocation of savings. Facilitate the investment. So create more awareness about investment. गोटे आपन टीवी रे देखिबे maximum time, like started from Tendulkar to Dhoni, started from Shah Rukh Khan to someone else, all are making investment, advertisement of mutual fund. Now why mutual fund, in today's arena, if you say, one of the growing sector is mutual fund, and jehetu it is a growing sector, it is one of the duty of the financial system to make a proper advertisement of that. It has to be reached to the individual that mutual fund is somehow associated with little bit of risk, and you should make an investment in that. So that was called mobilization and allocation of savings. Facilitate the investment and monitor the corporate performance. Monitor the corporate performance, koile one example I will cite. How bank will run. And yesterday we also had a discussion on that. Bank will run with loan. कहा लोन आपण को लोन मो लोन मु जदी गोटे गाड़ी किनची 5 लाख टंका लोन करछि कि आपण माने गोटे घर करिया पई कि 10 लाख टंका लोन करछन एथरे बैंक रो बहुत लाभ हुए लाभ कोठी हुए जते बेले नीरव मोदी भलिया लोक आ इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट इज टेकिंग अ लोन ऑफ 10 crore rupees 20 crore rupees 500 crore rupees लोन नेबे सेतबेले बैंक बहुत लाभ हुए if the loan is being recovered within the terms and condition within the time period. बुझियो जदि लोन रिकवर न होला then it is a huge loss. So it is very essential that whatever corporate is taking a loan from the bank, he has to make payment of the installments in a proper way, and the recovery should be there, came from the person with a time period. Whatever tenure was there, within that tenure the money has to be recovered. बुझियो so जितेबेले भी आपण देखिबे बैंक is in a heavy crisis, it is not because you are taking loan and you are not able to pay it, or I am taking the loan and I am not able to pay it, and your loan and my loan is become NPA. No one is talking about that, right? Talking about the people who are industrialists, who are corporate house, and they are taking a huge amount of loan from the bank, and they are unable to pay it, and then the bank ultimately closed down. Got it? So that is what called corporate performance has to be monitored. Provide payment and settlement facilities. Now, what do you understood by provide payment and settlement facilities? While simple word like your money was there, which is stuck in RBI. You want to buy something, you make a UPI, and suddenly your internet was failed, and the UPI was stocked somewhere else. That means what? The money is being deducted from your account, but it was not reached to the, to the persons whom to you send the money. And it was written that within that 48 working hours, the money will be came back. If the money will not came back, then what to do? Then what to do? धर आपनकर 48 hours भितरे पैसा फेरिलानी आपण कोन करिवे?
Then ma'am, we have to
बैंक रे
inform
written
bank
complaint दबे
as per RBI rules.
What Subrat? What you are saying?
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am. Then we have to inform my bank as per RBI rule. We have to do the process.
Achha. So do you have really do have that much time to go and write a letter to write a complaint to RBI, or someone else is saying that write a letter to the manager? Do you have really that time period? Do you have large amount of time? कहीं ताले परीक्षा पे बहुत पढ़ुथिबो तो बसिकी. Yes.
Ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
ମୁଁ କହିଲି ଯଦି ଏତେ ସମୟ ଅଛି ତାହେଲେ ନିହାତି ପରୀକ୍ଷା ପାଇଁ ପାଠ ପଢୁଥିବ।
Excuse me.
So we don't have that much of time. So provide payment and settlement system means each and every financial system, each and every financial organizations has a pathway through which you could able to go for settling your amount which is being stuck in somewhere else. That is called bank embezzlement. So Subrat, there is no need to write a complaint to manager. There is no need to write a complaint to RBI. Just go bank embezzlement. There is a website. You have to fill the form, launch your complaint. Within 7 days of your complaint, the matter will be solved. If not, the bank will be give you interest. Whatever money was stocked, that is, you are getting that money with interest. So whenever there is a complaint registered under this bank embezzlement, the bank will go in a an acceleration way to solve these issues and matters. कौन ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ କହିଲି କି ତମ ପାରେ ବହୁତ ସମୟ ଅଛି ପାଠ ପଢ? That means what? While we are talking about the payment and settlement system, specifically in the financial system, in the financial section, you will find out large number of solutions for this, and this is what one of the function of financial system कि अपन को से put a simple pathway जोगे दबो so that you could able to go to make your payment and settlement system. जदि से UPI payment system अपन को जोगे देची जोटी कि अपन with a scan you could send a lakhs rupees per day, or with a scan you could able to buy anything without carrying a single amount of money. You can buy anything जदि सुविधा अच्छी ताले अपन को पैसा जदि कोटी stock दे जाउची ताहले through the payment or the RBI embezzlement or IRDA embezzlement through the you can register your complaint for the RBI or insurance products. For stock products, the payment and settlement house of India is there. You have to make your complaint under this particular payment and settlement house. So here what happened, because there is large number of intermediations are there, एठी आपनकर बहुत intermediations रोचंदी कोठी ना stock market रे आपन तो directly investment कर नथिबे, you must be go through a intermediation, individual intermediation or intermediation house. So the SEBI will cancel the license of the individual intermediate if it was not solved within the 15 working days. So these are the pathways. Sabal Mandatantu financial system always try to provide good payment, good settlement channels through which people could able to settle their amount of money, can able to revive their money within the time period. Because we do not have time. आम पाखे समय नहीं, आम फिजिकल विजिट करि परिबानी बैंक को, आम पाखे एते समय नहीं ना कि आम गोटे मेल ड्रॉप करदेले आपण जानिबे कि मेल टा से लोक देखिबो विदिन द टाइम पीरियड, एटा भी कोनोसी ग्यारंटी नहीं. So that's why this is the best way to make and to go for settling your problems with a very small span time period. Got it? That's why I'm saying आपण मानकर बहुत समय अछि तो पाठ पढंतु, परीक्षा आगु अछि. Okay, that is a joke.
Yeah,
Okay,
got it,
next
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Got it.
Okay, next one is called, next function is called risk bearing and reduction. Now what do you understood by risk bearing and reduction? The financial system try to reduce the risk as much as possible and try to bear the risk by himself. Fine. So this is what one example. If the financial organization is unable to pay your settlement, then the financial organization is to be fined. Send a fine pay karibo to the person. So that is how we say the risk was being is reduced from the individual head. What else was there? Disseminate price related information. That means what? Any changes was there. Like for an example, Achanak say RBI says that in loan interest rate that is 0.5% is being increased. So immediately, whether you are taking a loan, whether you are not taking a loan, but you are a registered customer of RBI, then the message will be came to your mobile phone with an immediate effect. So that was called disseminate the price related information immediately to the customers. Next one is called offer portfolio adjustment facility. So do you know what is portfolio? What is portfolio? Do you know? Anyone have an idea that what is portfolio?
Ma'am, portfolio means just summarize one in one group. I mean, there are a lot of different type of investment, and we have to just category in one. That, as per my understanding,
Okay. Anything else? What Subrat is saying, that is correct. While we're talking about what is a portfolio is normally managed by the AMCs, asset management companies. What is the motto of the portfolio? Portfolio really looking forward to give you this free investment. Like there is a bucket, right? And the bucket is having large number of varieties of product. Varieties of product re kon aସୁଛି? Varieties of product re some of the products are risk-free products, some of the products are risky products, some of the products which are available in the market with a minimum risk. So that particular bucket is comprised of all different kind of products. Now let's talk about Mr. X is having 10 or 12 crore rupees, and he was wants to go for an expert opinion where to make investment. Now that expert opinion je dochi se ela good asset management company se kon koibo na go for a kind of investment where your portfolio can be adjusted at any point of time. If you have loss in one particular fund, then another fund will be adjusted. So a person will not have high amount of risk and high amount of loss. So it is a kind of a bucket where each and every different kind of products are available. Bahut prakar products available ରହିଥିବ ସେଟା ଗୋଟେ bucket ଭଳିଆ ଯୋଉଥିରେ କି someone who is expertised in that, he will try to give you information भाई तू एटी investment कर, सेटी investment कर, जति सेटी loss ହେଲା ଏପଟେ recover ହବ, जति सेटी highly gain होची, then it is for you, it is a bloom. Got it? So this is what called the portfolio, and this is one of the major work of the financial system to adjust the portfolio of the individual, and that was not able to manage by individual. ଆମ ତମ ଭଳିଆ ଲୋକ manage କରିପାରିବେନି, କିଏ manage କରିବ ନା specifically those who are expertised in this. So specifically the asset management companies are expertised in this and they will manage it. Then came to the next one, that was called lower the transaction cost. So ajika date if you say lowering, no, it was zero. So there is no transaction cost if you enter to any financial system, say RBI ho, stock exchange ho, या तो फिर आपनकर insurance हो, अपन paper work पाइंकी transaction पाइंकी there is no requirement of any fund to give, right? And financial inclusion. Now, what do you understand by financial inclusion? Financial inclusion means more and more people should participate in the financial system. Financial inclusion रे बहुत गुड एग्जांपल आसे जेमति कि स्कूल रे 9th and 8th क्लास पिला मानन को साइकिल दिया जाय फाइन आगरो कोन होतला स्कूल को से पैसा टा आसुतिला हेडमास्टर पैसा दोथिले तापर कोन होला स्कूल को पैसा आसिला स्कूल वाला साइकिल किनि के देला एंड सेति स्कैम होला एबे कोन होची ना to get a cycle the person the girl has to open an account and the money will transfer to the account. And in that way, the cycle is being purchased by the girl and a receipt has to be submitted to the school. That is what financial inclusion. So that in the class 8 or class 9, a girl is having a, account. So ago gale jadi se konosi prakare self employed habo ya to fir chakiri karibo se nihati se account ta rakhithibo jenti I can give my example. When I was in school like class 7 or class 8, I don't remember. I do have a school re mile kon brutti mile that was called kind of a paisa jota ke government taraf mile if you do well. Then what happened?
Scholarship.
So,
Scholarship.
yes. Bondage. So in that way, I open an account in postal in that time period, because that in that time period there is no requirement of opening an account in bank. So from that time period to till date, I do have that postal account. So in that way, we could say that the financial inclusion is being appreciated. Got it? So this is what the functions of the financial system. Okay, this is you can read it. This is what the best elements how the financial system is functioning. This is one example. Okay, now moving towards the economic development. Now, what do you understood by economic development? Economic development is simply says that while we're talking about we are in a particular country which is a developed country, that means we do not have poverty. We should have a very reduced kind of poverty. That means we do have 100% employable. That means employability is 100%. That means there is no bad inflation. That means the demand and supply was equilibrium. That means we have a productivity which is very high. That means our service sectors are performing in a very well managed. So that is means our economic developed country or developed country in an economic scale. But while we're talking about India like country, so we are always supposed to say that we are developing. We are developing, we try to reduce poverty, that means we are developing. We try to give full employability to the people, so we are developing. We try to reduce the wealth gap, so we are developing. We try to increase the productivity, that means we are developing, and try to adequate the supply and demand with a service and goods, so that means we are developing. ବୁଝିଗଲା economic development ମାନେ କ'ଣ? Economic development or ଯୋଉମାନେ developed countries ଅଛନ୍ତି, simply ତାଙ୍କର poverty level was very minimum, ସେମାନଙ୍କର employability was very high, ତାଙ୍କର wealth gap was very minimum, it was very minimum wealth gap. ତାପରେ productivity or commercial productivity was very high, demand and supply. I'm not saying that supply is high in comparison to demand, but somehow demand and supply is equilibrium, which you see. So that means what? The country is developed. But while we're talking about India as a country, we are always struggling in this. The basic reason we do have a population blast. We have a very huge number of population. We do have a geographic location of certain areas who are not equipped with a good industrial criteria, who are not able to give more good industries. We have a topological experiences where we are not supposed to say that industrialization was enhances. Then we do have areas where it was suppressed by the terrorism or suppressed by the certain kind of social and ethical imbalances. So that's why these are all the factors that is affecting our economic development or socio-economic development. Khali economic development mein amar socio-economic development ko if I say that there is a hurdle which is being created for the socio-economic development. Okay, so look to this particular ଯୋଉଟା ମୁଁ ତମର dark କରୁଛି ସେଟା ଦେଖ.
Yes, ma'am, got it, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. So look to this particular position. What I darken, that was written that India has three primary sectors, which are called agricultural sector, industry sector, and service sector, which employs millions of the people in the country. More than 60% of the GDP or Indian's GDP came from this particular service sector. And in rural India, the agricultural sector happens to be largest source of employability. Fine. So if these three sectors will be developed, fine. So developed in agriculture, in industry, and in services, which employs millions of people, because agriculture also create employability, industries will create employability, and service sector also create employability, right? So millions of people are being employed through this particular sector, and more probably 60% of the Indian GDP was came from from this particular sector, right? So if I'm talking about this, because meeting is disconnect kahinki ହେଇଗଲା? ପିଲାମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଟ୍ କାହିଁକି ଏଠୁ ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ୍ କଟିଗଲା, ଲେଟ୍ ମି ଚେକ୍। Let me check to upload the PPT. Give me 1 minute. Why it was not open? I don't know why I'm not able to share. Deepak, can you share it for me? Share option देखो नहीं तो share on करी। ପିଲାମାନେ ତମକୁ sharing option ରେ share ଦେଖଉଛି କି? PPT ଦିଶୁଛି ପିଲାମାନେ?
ନା
ମାନେ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
audible?
ସେଇଟା ଆଗରୁ ଯୋଉ ପୁରୁଣା ଦେଖୁଥିଲା ସେଇଆ, ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ନ୍ୟୁ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି ସେଥିରେ ଦେଖାଯାଉନି, ଆପଣଙ୍କର ସେ ବ୍ଲାଙ୍କ ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି।
अच्छा sir।
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସ୍ଲାଇଡ କିଛି ବି ଦେଖାଯାଉନି।
जस्ट अ मिनिट देखो जो नेट कटि ଯାଇଥିଲା ତ। Give me 1 minute। Sorry for the disturbance. So, what are the basic objectives of the economic development? The objectives are the first and foremost objective, it is a fundamental objective of economic development, is to improve the monetary and social condition of the society, to improve the quality of the material life for the people, and some of the other objectives that we will follow by. That means what? First of all, we'll talk about the fundamental objective of economic development. Now, they improve the monetary and social condition. Now, how to improve the monetary and social condition? Monetary condition only improve when do have a employability to have a employed. That means we earn. Everyone should earn. Everyone should have increased the purchasing ability, and so as to when the purchasing ability of the individual increases, the market automatically moves. ବୁଝିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ମୋ କଥା? ଧରି ନିଅନ୍ତୁ market ରେ ଯୋଉ ଗୋଟେ product available ଅଛି, let's talk about one of the service sector that was called a school. Now we say that the India required more 30% schools to keep all the students who are there in India who really looking forward for the for the school education. But said Sarkar karibe kono private school nahi ki? Private school achi, you should go and avail the school facilities. But really requirement is not private school. The requirement are with the government school. Why? Because in private school, it is quite unreachable for the backward, financially backward people. So the money which is required to enter to the private school, it was not able to convince to the each and every person who is a financial struggler. जौन जे फाइनेंशियल स्ट्रगलर ताको अपन केमती कन्विंस करिवे कि तू भाई जा तो छुआ को स्कूल रे पढ़ा जोटा कि गोटे प्राइवेट स्कूल. Fine. That means what? We do have a schools, but it was unreachable. But while we're talking about what do you understood by social development came along with the purchasing ability of the individual increases, products available along with the minimum pricing, so that each and every person can buy, able to buy the product. ମୋ କଥା ବୁଝିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି? Socio-economic development ହବ. Socio-economic development ମାନେ କଣ? Individual जो माने आमे तम भले लोक अछंतो, ଆମ ପାଖରେ purchasing ability ବଢିବ. Purchasing ability does not emphasize to only financing or only investment. मन रखंतो एटा खाली investment और खाली financing नुहे. Purchasing ability means what? Purchase to any service sector products, any facilities that a government will provide. सेटा जेतला आमे किनी परिबा, that is what a term is called reaching to unreachable. Then we should say that this is what the development of socio-economic criteria is. And this is socio-economic development is one of the essential factors of economic development. Achoda kon asti na advancement of goal where GDP has to be somehow liberalized. Fine, tamane kono ଯେତିକି demand ସେତିକି actually supply होतिबो या तो फिर ताको टिके एपट सेपट होतो, but huge gap should not be there if you're really looking forward for the development. So one more objective is advancement to increase the living of standard, and only it is possible living of standard केतेबेला advance होबो जेतेला हमर GDP रो growth होबो, जेतेबेला हमर demand according to demand supply होबो products रो, commodities रो, services रो, and it will be cubed by the people. Third, there are second major objective of the development or the economic development is to elevate the poverty. So the poverty should be elevated or eliminated from the system. So poverty means कौन? जो लोग को पाखरे किसी earning नहीं, तो the person do not have any earning. Government कौन करछि ना ताको खाद्य जोगौछि, ताको खाइबा दउछि, ताको पैसा दउछि, ताको चलिबा पई कि दउछि, नहीं ताको पैसा दियोनी, ताको खाइबा दियोनी, ताको रोजगार दियो, ताको एम्प्लॉयबल दियो, ताको एम्प्लॉयबल कराओ, ताको आत्म निर्भर बनाओ, self independency तरह. So then we should say that socio-economic development होछि. बुझी होछि? तो बेले बेले कोन होइना आपनकर जेमति इलेक्शन अछि एंड को स्टेट रे कोन करंती सरकार पैसा बांटी दियंती. बेरोजगार अछो, बेरोजगारी भत्ता नहीं. Mean, so bhatta is a kind of a mindset. It will never create economic development. What create economic development? Create economic development only through the upgradation of skills. And skills upgradation setebele habo jetebele you do have employability, you do have capability of earning money. And when you earn money, you spend money, your purchasing ability increases, and so as to the commercial market also moved in a faster way. Right. So that was called, the secondary objective. That means eliminate the poverty, and that is one particular step ahead towards economic development. Our last objective could be first growth in absolute GDP, increase in per capita income, and that regards to sense of expansion of economic potentiality without any wide-ranging improvement and living standard impossible. That means what? Per capita income যদি বড়ছে, if the per capita income increases in regards to the economic expansion, তাহলে the economic development certainly happens. So this is what we're talking about, the economic development. In tomorrow class, we'll talk about the different 4 stages of economic development, 5 stages of economic development. Then we will talk about the factors of economic development. Then financial reformation. এটিকে আমি কালি try କରିବା ସାରିବା। If you have any question, please ask. Anything you want to ask, ପିଲାମାନେ? କିଛି ଯଦି doubt ଅଛି କୁହ, ନହେଲେ ନାହିଁ sir join କରିବେନି, we will
Ma'am, all
forward
clear.
in the class. Okay, thank you. We'll wait for the next class. Okay.
Thank
Wait
you,
for
ma'am.
5 minutes.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning.
से सारे पे ज्वाइन करना
Good evening, madam. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, madam. Kindly make me host. Madam, is it audible? Hello. Hello, madam. Is it audible? Madam, it is audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Rasul, madam. Madam, please make me host. I think madam is facing some problem in making me host. Okay, so student, we can continue.
Sir, your network bandwidth is low. It's showing.
Value is low, madam.
Yes, sir.
Madam, that network is full strength it is showing here in my laptop, and there is certain connectivity issues. Actually, in the laptop, audio problem is there. That is why I am not able to connect to my laptop. So, through mobile, to my mobile, I am connecting. Uh, it is audible to all the students. So, kindly make me the host. Let's try whether I am able to take the class.
Sir, it's audible actually, but the sound not clear, sir. We are not able to understand what actually you are telling.
Okay, okay. Now is it audible clearly? Is it audible clearly?
Somehow it's okay, sir. Let's proceed actually. And see. Your even your video also cracking, sir.
Video also?
Cracking, phasing type.
Mhm. That is due to certain network issues. So network problem will
Yes,
persist
sir.
everywhere.
Network is on.
Network problem will persist everywhere. But still, we should continue the class. Uh, Now it is audible clearly. If it is audible clearly, then to some extent our problem is over.
Sound not clear, sir.
Still, sound is not clear. Okay, I
Yes,
will
sir.
tell loudly. I will tell loudly so that it will be audible to you. Mm, okay. In the past class, actually, we had a vivid discussion regarding the meaning, importance, type, evolution of your merchant banking and a financial system. Uh, is there any doubt? What we have discussed in the previous class? Yes. Is there any doubt? Whatever we have discussed in the previous class?
Sir, can you please repeat the lease financing?
Yes, lease financing. Once again, I will make you understand the meaning of the lease financing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, before going to the lease financing, what is a lease? First, we need to understand what is a lease. A lease is a contract between the owner of the asset and the beneficiary, whereby the owner of the asset is here. You see, the owner of the asset is called the lessor, and the beneficiary is called the lessee, and the agreement. There should be one agreement between the lessor and the lessee. The lessee has a right to purchase and use the asset on payment of a specified rentals over the predetermined period of time. So lease financing is a technique whereby without actually taking the loan, without taking any financial assistance from any other financial institution, we are actually able to use the property or able to purchase that asset which we require. Suppose if you want one asset and it involves huge finance, say up to 50 lakhs, and you are not in a position to pay 50 lakhs, then what is the option in your hand? There is an option in your hand that you will take any loan from the financial institution. So without taking loan from the financial institution, you can approach some other party who are ready to purchase that asset from the supplier and let you to use that property for rental. That is what a lease financing. Now able to understand this concept regarding the lease finance?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good. So what are the steps involved in leasing? Who can tell what are the steps involved in leasing? Actually, I had covered this or not? Various steps involved in the lease. I think I had not covered.
No, sir.
Okay, okay. So what are the things I have covered? Just a minute. What are the things I have covered actually?
Sir,
Okay,
in
I
last
have-
class, you are told what is house financing, what is venture capital, what is
Good.
insurance,
Okay,
and
okay,
how to
okay.
deal with the second-hand market, all this.
Very good, very good. So few things which we discussed, first was the definition of a financial services. Next is the role of a financial services. Under role of a financial services, what we are discussing, traditional activities and modern activities, and under traditional activities, there are fund-based activities and non-fund-based activities. Whatever we are discussing in the previous class. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It was,
Yes,
but
sir.
we were on the lease financing we have to discuss today.
Okay. So all the fund-based activities I have discussed, what are these fund-based activities? Who can tell? Please, any one of you?
Sir, actually, your voice, we are not getting properly your voice, sir, please.
Yes, yes.
You did not get you properly, sir, actually. I think there's some network issue.
Network issue.
Yeah, because we are not getting properly your voice.
But I am properly hearing you. Your voice is very clear to me.
No, sir, we are
So-
unable to hear you, sir.
So what? That means where is the network issue? I don't think I have certain network issue. Anyway, but after online classes, the network issue is it is common network issue. But apart from that, whatever we have discussed in the previous class, you people able to understand them or not?
Sir, insurance is a
would-
fund-based activities.
Yes, yes.
Insurance is a
Insurance.
fund.
Obviously, insurance is fund-based activities. जैसे कि आपका हाउसिंग फाइनेंस से होता है, इंश्योरेंस सर्विसेज होता है, वेंचर कैपिटल फाइनेंसिंग होता है. So these are what fund-based activities. Okay. So under fund-based activities, I have discussed that underwriting of shares and debentures. That is one. Second one is dealing in foreign exchange market activities. Next one is your lease financing, hire purchase, venture capital, factoring and profiting, then housing finance, then insurance services, venture capital, financing, then dealing in secondary market activities, participating in money market instruments like your treasury bills, discounting bills, and the commercial papers. So these are all your fund-based activities. Okay. So apart from these fund-based activities, certain non-fund-based activities are also which I had discussed in the previous class. First one is the management of a capital issue, under which there are pre and post issue management. Second one is the arrangement for the placement of a capital and debt instrument with the investment institutions. Next one is the arrangement of funds from financial institutions. Next one was arrangement of working capital for the clients. And third one, last one is assisting in the process of obtaining government clearance. These are the points which I discussed in the previous class in the non-fund-based activities.
Sir, can you please repeat it again, sir? Non-fund-based activities.
Okay. Under
Sir, please slowly, sir.
Okay. On non-fund-based activities, the first point was the management of the capital issue. The management of a capital issue in which pre and post issue management is there. Okay. And the second point was arrangement for the placement of a capital and a debt instruments with investment institutions. Third one was arrangement of funds from financial institutions. Fourth one, arrangement of working capital for clients. And the last one, that is assisting in the process of obtaining government clearance. Is that clear?
Sir, arrangement of working capital from?
Working capital for clients.
Oh, sorry, for clients. And sir, last
And
one,
the-
sir?
And the last one is assisting in the process of obtaining government clearances. Under this also I discussed regarding obtaining of your drug license and many other permissions from the government whenever any corporate sector need to join any business or to carry on any business activity, need certain certification and your licensing and this drug license or any other license. So here you see the venture capital or the financial institutions, they are providing the service of obtaining this government clearances also. This is coming under your non-fund-based activities. Is that clear? All the non-fund-based activities?
Yes, sir.
Good. So entire traditional activities, we have already discussed, that is fund-based activities and non-fund-based activities. Only the modern activities are left and which we will discuss now. Under the modern activities, the first one is your rendering project advisory service. Right from the preparation of the project report till the raising of the funds for starting the project. Any organization, any corporate sector requiring to start any project, they are supposed to prepare any a project report. And for this project report, there is a project advisory services is required. And these what merchant bankers or the financial institutions, they are providing this service. Starting from the project advisory service and preparation of a project report till the raising of the funds for the starting of the project. First to last, everything they are providing. This is coming under your modern activity, that is rendering project advisory services right from the preparation of the project report till the raising of the funds for starting the project. Is that clear, this point? Or any issue?
No, sir, not clearly audible, sir.
Not audible clearly. But I am audible clearly. I am able to hear you very clearly. And network issue will be there whenever we are thinking about the online classes. Network issues will be there, but we have to manage it. Okay, so I am also repeating again and again till you.
Sir, actually we are sitting here to.
Yes, sitting at the.
Receive what?
Yes, sir. We
sitting at-
we can understand that, sir. We can understand that online class in it, but we are not able to properly listen to, sir. Then what can we understood what you are teaching to us? So that is
in
only
this
request.
respect-
This is request from our side because, sir, even I am not getting what you are saying. Because I am not getting
Yes.
properly to you. I think my
Yes, I am
friends are also facing same type of problem. I think so.
Sir,
Yes.
please PPT, sir. Sir, please show your PPT, sir.
PPT, and so actually in the laptop through which actually I wanted to connect, that is some issue is there regarding audibility issue. That is why I cannot share this PPT to you. In the next class, I will share the PPT, or I will send you the PPT from the next class from the beginning. If I will share send you the PPT, you can also go through the PPT and then also you can attend the class. It will be easier for you, I think.
Sir, now your voice is we are getting
Sir,
properly to you.
Sir,
Now
please
you are
hold
getting.
that mic how you are holding now. Then we can then we can
Exactly, sir. Because we
easily
are
audible.
getting properly now. We are getting
Yes, sir.
properly.
Okay, no issues,
So this is request from our side. It's don't take us otherwise, sir.
Okay. After all, the objective is your understanding. Okay, students'
Yes.
understanding is the most important thing in the class. So the first point which I discussed regarding the rendering project advisory service, right from the preparation of the project report till the raising of the funds for starting the project. This is one of the modern activities. Okay, under financial services, it is one of the modern activities, that is rendering project advisory services right from the preparation of the project report till the raising of the funds for starting the project. Is that clear?
Yeah, sir. Now I got it.
Okay. The second point is planning for mergers and acquisition and assisting for their smooth carry out. Here two technical terms, mergers and acquisitions. So I think you people heard about it, mergers and acquisition.
Yes, sir. We knew about it.
Okay, so in the merger, what is happening? You see it, two entities combined together to form one entity. Okay, that is what merger. And in the acquisition, one company will take over another company. That is acquisitions.
Correct,
Okay.
sir, correct.
So
Yes,
what
sir.
is the objective of this merger and acquisition? What is the main objective? When suppose two companies merged to each other, and when one company acquire another company, that is the case of acquisition. What is the main objective?
To gain the competitive advantage in the industry and economies of scale, productivity, many others also there.
Sometimes
And-
one
Very
company
good.
is also weak company. That's why it's,
Yes, yes. So whenever you see, suppose two companies are running and one company is economically viable and another company is not economically viable. So the company which is economically viable, that will acquire another company which is not economically viable. So that after this acquisition, they will do the business in a profitable line. And in the merger also same thing happened. That is to get the competitive advantage in the market. Basically, it is a case of a market pioneer. So whenever two companies are market pioneer and they combine each other to form, to actually to get the monopolistic advantage in the market, right? So these are certain business tactics, how to gain the popularity in the market or to acquire market position. Anyway, this is the objective, but for this purpose of mergers and acquisition, it is not an automatic process. It is a lengthy and a cumbersome process, critical process. For this, for to smoothly carry out this, there should be proper planning and a proper implementation should be there. Otherwise, this entire process of mergers and acquisition will not be fulfilled. That is why this is coming under the modern activities that financial institutions or financial services that they are providing this facility for the planning for mergers and acquisition and assisting for their smooth carry out. Okay, it is the second point. So is it clear now?
yes, sir, very clear, sir.
Okay, the next point is directing the corporate customers in capital restructuring. Directing corporate customers in capital restructuring. So what is the word that these two words, capital restructuring? Have you heard about these two words, capital restructuring?
Yes, sir. I have not more idea about it, but I have little idea. So restructure
Okay.
capital, what we have existing capital, we want to just restructure, I mean modify in that.
Okay, so before understanding this capital restructuring, we should first understand what is a capital structure.
Correct.
Okay, so capital structure means what? Actually, as per the requirement of the corporate finance. So suppose one company need some huge amount of the finance, then it will decide whether it will issue equity shares or it will issue preference shares or it will issue debentures to the public or it will take a bank loan. That means the total capital will be divided into what number of segments, some part in the equity, some part in the debt capital, some part in the loan like this. That means the entire structure of the capital is like this. That is what a capital structure. Okay, that means the design of the capital from what will be from which source of capital. There are various sources of a capital, like your share capital. Then in the share capital also there is a preference share capital,
Preference share,
equity share capital. Then there is a debentures, that is debt capital. Then there is a loan capital. Loan capital, suppose financial institutions or bankers, they are providing loan. So there are various options. So out of these options, how much amount should be equity? How much amount should be preference? How much amount should be debenture? How much amount should be loan? If they will properly chalk out this, then this is called your capital structure. And sometime actually company, they need to restructure this capital. Why? Because it may not be suitable as per the financial requirement of the organization from the time to time. At the time of suppose creation of the companies, so the their requirement was something else, and whenever they are getting certain competitive advantages or they become pioneer in the market, so their capital structure requirement is something else. So now they require that their capital, their structure of the capital should change. That is why they are planning for capital restructuring.
Sir,
And this capital.
sir,
Yes,
can I add one thing? If I'm not sure I'm right or wrong, because
Yes.
the main aim was the organization to restructuring the capital. So they are just to generate the funds for organization. But look, what the reason behind of that? Why they are just restructuring the capital? That would be the reason behind of the. I'm talking about on the point of organizations. I think, as per my knowledge, it should be genetic fund, because for genetic fund for organizations. That's why they're just restricting that. But I'm just, I'm not sure. I just want to clarify. Am I right or not?
Okay. You see what is happening when we are thinking about the corporation finance, particularly in the corporate sector. Actually, in the corporate sector, there is a divergence of ownership and the management. Is that right? Ownership and management are different. That means owners, they require what they are interested to know. They are interested to know how our money is utilized by the company, whether it is utilized in a better way or not, right? And the management always understand that there is a threat of the public, because public money is there. Okay, the very important purpose here regarding the capital structure, actually the cost of the capital. If we think what is the purpose behind the capital structure, the very thought behind the capital structure is your cost of capital. Because nothing is free. Nowadays, nothing is free. So capital means whether it will be equity, or whether it will be preference, or whether it will be debenture, or it will be bank loan. Nothing is free. So it involves cost. That is the cost of the capital. And the capital structure should be designed in such a way so that the weighted average capital cost of the capital, or finally which we are telling that is the average cost of the capital, it should be the minimum, so that what the company will get a higher return. You see, just two things I am speaking here. You see, one is your required rate of return, and another is the current rate of return. So current rate of return, suppose the current rate of return in the business, which business suppose you are continuing, the current rate of return is 8%. And the cost of the capital is 9%. Okay, so what shall be the required rate of return? The required rate of return is something more than that, the cost of the capital. If you will able to earn something more than from the market, then only you will able to pay to the capital. That means you are supposed to repay them, na? Because whenever we are we are issuing debentures, then debenture holders, what they will get? They will get interest. If you will acquire bank loan, then you are also supposed to repay them the interest. If this rate of interest is higher than your rate of return, then it is of no use. then it is of no use. Why? Because you are not able to manage the fund. If you manage the fund, then what will happen? You will not able to repay them. That is why we should understand what is the rate of return of that particular business. If that particular business, there is a rate of return that is suppose of 15%. And here we have to make the capital structure in such a way that our average cost of the capital should be less than that 14%. If our cost of capital, average cost of the capital will be more than that, then we cannot sustain in the market. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Got it. Sir, then what is the difference between capital and paid up capital? Can you please explain? I mean,
Okay, what
capital
is the difference?
and paid up capital between differences
Okay,
between.
okay. Actually, you see, whenever we are thinking about the capital or talking about the capital means whatever the fund we are raising from the public. That is a capital.
Correct.
But
Correct.
again, they are this capital having different parts. The first part is your, suppose we will tell that is your authorized capital. Authorized capital is the capital on the basis of which the company gets its registration. Whenever we are giving the application to the ROC for the registration of the company, at that time we are supposed to mention what shall be our maximum capital. That is what authorized capital or registered capital.
Correct.
Is that clear?
Yes,
Okay.
and we can issue the paid up capital up to authorized capital, not more than. Am I right, sir? As per ROC.
Yes. Authorized capital
Okay.
is the maximum amount of the
Maximum.
capital
Correct,
which we
correct,
can issue. Beyond that, we can issue, but there is a legal process. That means
Correct,
we need
correct.
to take the permission from the central government. We need to take the permission from the company law board. We need to pass a special resolution in the general body meeting regarding enhancement of the capital.
Got it, sir. Fair enough. Got it, sir. Fair enough.
Okay. So here you see directing corporate customers in capital restructuring. Actually, it is only meant for the corporate customers, not for the individual. The corporate customers who are not able to decide viably their capital restructuring, and they are desperate in restructuring their capital. These financial institutions or merchant bankers, they are also providing these type of services. That means they are directing the corporate customers in capital restructuring. So that is a modern activity, which is carried on by the merchant bankers as a financial service. Okay. The next one is acting as a trustee to debenture holders. Acting as a trustees, debenture holders. So first, you know who are debenture holders? Yes, Subrat.
Yes, sir. Sir, debenture holders
so-
who have invested the money in that debenture holders.
Tell me one thing, whether debenture holders are creditors or debtors of the company?
Creditors.
Creditors. Very good.
Because that only liabilities per organization.
Okay. It's nice. So now you see these debenture holders, whenever a company issue debentures, there are a variety of debentures. Okay. One of them is your naked debenture, another is your mortgage debenture. Okay, so mortgage debenture means whatever the company, when the company issues, suppose the company will issue debenture worth 1 crore, then up to 1 crore of any asset, the company shall place to them. That is what it is called a secured debenture or mortgage debenture. And this security, for security, the debenture holders, they will make a trust, and the trustee will hold this agreement. That means suppose the company will not able to repay in time what debenture holders their interest and refund their capital amount, then this trustee will acquire the property, sell the property, and distribute the amount among the debenture holders. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely correct.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay. So for this purpose, you see, as the debenture holder, they don't have the knowledge, legal knowledge, thorough legal knowledge regarding the trusteeship and all this. That is why these merchant bankers or the financial institutions, those who are providing the service of financial services, they also act as a trustees to the debenture holders. So these are the few of the modern activities. Apart from these, some more activities are there, but we have discussed only a few of them.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, you have told there are two types of debentures. One is mortgaged and another one is?
Not two type. Actually, there are a variety of debentures.
Yes,
Out of
yes,
them, only two I told. One is your naked debenture. Another is your secured debenture. Okay.
Okay,
In
okay,
the
sir.
But apart from this, there are a variety of debentures. If you will go to the Google, then you will search, you will find there are a variety of debentures starting from the registered debenture, non-registered debenture, then cumulative debentures, non-cumulative debentures, variety of debentures are there. And each debenture, each type of a debenture carry their own property, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So apart from these, that is acting as a trustee to the debenture holders, then few other functions are also there. One is recommending suitable changes in the management structure and the management style for achieving better results. Actually, what is happening, these corporate sectors, sometimes they are not able to maintain a good management structure, and they are not able to also maintain a good management style, so that their performance is not better. And these particularly merchant bankers, they are also recommending suitable changes in the management structure and management style in order to achieve a better result. Okay, this is another activity. Apart from that, portfolio management of large public sector undertakings. Portfolio management means what? Portfolio management, you must have heard this name, portfolio management.
Yes, yes, sir. Portfolio management means we
Yeah.
have different type of asset, I mean investment, different type of, we have to summarize in one portfolio management, one screen, I mean
Where is
summarize in
risk
one.
level is low and where is risk level is high?
Yes. Actually, you see, whenever we are thinking about the capital market, different instruments available in the capital market for investment, we are getting what a variety of return and a variety of risk. Where we are getting what a high return, there is a high risk, and where we are getting less returns, there is less risk. So some people, what they are doing, they are only suppose the entire amount of investment they are making in one company, so that if any problem will there, then their entire amount of investment will gone. That is why it is wise not to invest in one company, but more, what number of companies. So investing in a number of companies is called your portfolio, and managing that efficiently is called your portfolio management.
Portfolio management.
So the thing is that how we'll able to manage. Actually, you will see what is the most important thing is your risk. So risk is everywhere, but the where in some places the risk is less, in some places risk is high, in some places the risk is moderate. And risk we cannot avoid, totally we cannot avoid. Yes, we can manage the risk. And for this purpose of a management of the risk, some technical analysis and some fundamental analysis are required. And these portfolio managers, actually, you see large multinational companies, they are keeping a fund manager. These fund managers, particularly, they are the qualified chartered accountants or chartered financial analysts. Okay, these people, what they are doing the fundamental analysis and technical analysis, utilizing their latest talent, and by that they are able to predict predict which company will give more return. Accordingly, they are investing the fund in that companies. That means they are managing the entire fund in different companies. That is what portfolio management. Okay, and large public sector undertakings, you take the example of a NARCO or SAIL, they have what a large fund. And for these large fund, that means to manage these large fund, they need the help of either the fund manager or these merchant bankers. So the merchant bankers, they are also providing these portfolio management services. And these public sector undertakings, they are availing this service also. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And last but not the least, the capital market services such as clearing services, registrations and transfer, collection of income on securities. So these services are also provided by the financial institutions or by the merchant bankers as a part of the modern services, which is provided by this financial services. Under the financial services, this is also another service. That is the capital market services, like your clearing services, registrations, transfers, then collection of income on securities, etc. These services are also carried on by the merchant bankers or the financial institutions. So these are the few actually services which is coming under your modern services. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why the big organization hire a portfolio manager for managing those things.
Yeah.
That is, we can say the portfolio manager in definition of that.
Yeah. Portfolio manager or fund managers. We are telling
Yes,
fund
yes.
managers.
Because they have the expertise in that specific area. That's why the organization are hiring them.
Yes. They are doing this mathematical analysis, the technical analysis.
Correct.
Actually, this technical analysis they are doing in a better way, and by that they are expecting where they will get maximum return, and they are
Correct.
diverting investment to that, so that they are able to get something more. And for their own expenses, they are keeping a part, and the rest they are giving to you.
That's why the organization will switch from one fund to another fund as per advice by them and portfolio manager. If the market is going low down in any kind of funds, then they can switch to another fund which is going up.
Very good. Apart from that, they are also using certain hedging techniques.
Correct. That's correct.
Suppose the market is, they expect that market will go up, but the market is going down. At that time, they are using certain hedging techniques by which their loss will be minimized. Okay.
Agreed, sir. Agreed.
Good. So next we will go to discuss the detailed functions, of a financial services. The detailed functions of the financial services. First, they help the firm or corporate not only to raise the funds but also for efficient employment of the funds. That means the financial services, it is one of the important functions of the financial services, not only to help the firm or not only to help the corporate entities to raise the fund, but also for their efficient use of this fund. Yes?
Sir, sorry, sir, we are not able to hear you, sir.
Okay. I have to hold the mic on. Now it is audible?
Yes, sir. Now it's
Okay. It is one of the important function of financial services, not only to help the firm or corporate sector in raising the funds, but also their efficient use of the funds. This is one of the functions of the financial services. Apart from that, they also help to construct the capital structure of the company. As I already told you, they also do the factoring and forfeiting services. This is one technical services which we'll discuss later on. Regarding this, there is a description in the next chapter. And they do both traditional services like financing, bills, discounting, and contemporary services like e-commerce, securitization of debt, which perhaps you asked me in the previous class regarding the derivatives. This is securitization of debts. Who asked me? Subrat, you asked me in the last class regarding this.
No, sir.
Securitization of debt. But
No,
someone had asked me regarding this. This is securitization of debt. It is actually, it is also one technical aspect. And then specialized services like your credit rating, venture capital, lease financing, factoring, mutual funds, merchant banking, stock lending, depository, credit cards, housing finance. So these are the few functions of the financial services. Able to follow them or any issue?
No, sir, not an issue.
Sir,
Good.
sir, one small request from us because you asked, there is no books
Yes.
with us. So can you please share the PPT with to Rasmi ma'am? That will be better to us.
Yes, yes. Actually, I
Because
talked.
we have requested yesterday too. Because sir, we have they have not issued the books to all of us. That's why we're getting some.
Okay. Books has not been issued to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's why I'm requesting to you if that is possible, you can share with Rasmi ma'am, and Rasmi ma'am can send our student group. That will be better for us because we're totally blank about this. I mean subject.
Okay. Sure.
Sir, politics
Tomorrow
in new
I'll share
subjects, sir.
It is not new, actually. It is not new, but this is a specialized. And you see, in the hierarchy, particularly whenever specializations are there, every day it is changing. That is why if we prepare some books, then it will oscillate a little. So that we need to prepare another book. That is why these what are present newspapers and many other finance newspapers. They are a good source of these specialization papers, right? Like Financial Express, then your Economic Times. From this, you will get very good inputs about all this. Is that right?
Correct, sir. Noted, sir. We will do that. But sir, just a small request. Do you have PPT of this subject or not? If you have, kindly please share it.
No. Whatever I am discussing now, I am also having the PPT. I am preparing the PPT and actually sitting in the class. But the thing is that actually my laptop having certain problem regarding the ability. That is why otherwise I would share this PPT today also.
No problem, sir. Fair enough. Fair. No problem. Whenever you'll be able to, sir, send that, just send with Rasmi ma'am, then we'll get from her.
Okay. So in the previous class, actually, whatever we had discussed, we discussed a lot regarding your financial services. Today we'll discuss what is regarding your merchant banking. And
Yeah,
who
correct,
are the merchant bankers and what? Okay, the term merchant banker was used in relation to wealthy merchants who actually developed the banking side of one's business in the England in the starting. In India, the merchant banking definition is framed actually in SEBI rules in 1992. SEBI, that is Security Exchange Board of India. Okay, this is SEBI when in 1992 actually they have what noted down what are the definition of this merchant banking, and it defines the merchant banker as any person who is engaged in the business of issue management, either by making arrangement regarding selling, buying, or subscribing to this as a manager, consultant, and or rendering corporate advisory services in issue management. That's any person who is engaged in the business of issue management. Issue means particularly here whenever that means the public issue. So company, whenever the companies they are issuing the shares to the public, it is called issue management. And any person who is engaged in this business of issue management is called a merchant banker. Actually, this definition has been given by the SEBI. But apart from that, these merchant bankers, they are also providing many other corporate advisory services in relation to the issue such issue management. Right? Able to understand this definition, which is provided by the SEBI rules 9.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So I'll share the PPT to the Rasmi ma'am actually tomorrow. So that ma'am will also share this PPT to you so that you people will go through, and
Sure.
I think you'll face no problem. because actually after preparing the PPTs only I am entering into the class. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, if you kindly explain the derivative term.
Derivative term, actually it is not in this paper. Actually this paper is your what merchant banking and financial services. So derivative is not there in this paper, but the derivative paper, only paper that is specialization paper in finance, derivative paper is there. So whenever the teacher will take that paper, he will explain you, but the derivative means what? I am telling it in a line, that is securitization of a securities is called your derivatives, right? Securitization of a security. So here the question is that what is the securities and what is its securitization? Just I am giving you one example, and I will not discuss much about that, but I will give you only one example. You see, suppose I have a good crop this year. I have a good crop, and after the crop is over, then I have put the entire crop in a what is that we are telling, cold storage, right? Cold storage we are telling. So in the cold storage, I will put all these crops because what you see, crops they give you good price whenever they are in a great demand in the market, not at the time when you are harvesting it, right? अभी देखो जैसे कि सपोज आपका क्या जो कॉलीफ्लावर्स जो मार्केट में मिलता है, अभी जो मार्केट में मिलता है, एक्चुअली दैट इज नॉट ग्रोन नाउ इन द फील्ड. वो 3-4 महीने पहले ग्रो हुआ था फील्ड में, बट नाउ इट इज अवेलेबल बट एट अ हायर प्राइस. Okay, so what is the technique is that? The technique is that this crop, whenever the farmers they are harvesting these crops, they are putting them in the cold storage. And these cold storage person, what they will give them a this document that so much quantity of a goods and the value is this. So with this document, what you can do? Either you can keep that document in the pocket and wait till the market price. So whenever the market price will go up, then only you will take all the from your what is the cold storage and sell them in a market at a good price. ये एक option है. और एक option क्या होता है? That you can encash this. You can encash this by the help of these merchant bankers. Okay, once you encash, you will get some fund. By that fund, you will mobilize yourself, and now whenever the time is there, again you will put the money and you will get back the security again. Now, what is the security? That document which has been given by the cold storage operator to you. That is a document. That is your only security of whatever amount you have deposited into the cold storage. And now what happened? You have encashed that in the another bank. That is securitization of a security. Securitization of a security. That means you sold that security. And on the security of that security, you have taken some financial assistance from this institution. Okay, this concept is technically called your derivatives. That is securitization of security. Now you can able to understand something basic from this.
Thank you, sir. Yes,
okay,
thank
okay.
you.
So now we will come to the topic. Our time is over. Please see what is the time.
Sir, time is over, sir.
Time is over. Okay, I think
Yes,
the
sir.
next
We
teacher.
have next class.
Okay. So tomorrow we will have the next class. And
Yes,
tomorrow
sir,
morning, actually, I share the PPT to the Rasmi ma'am, so that Rasmi ma'am will share the PPT to you, and we will have a interactive session.
Sure,
tomorrow.
sure, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Good night. Thank you. Rasmu madam? Hello? Okay, madam is not audible. Okay, student, I am leaving the class.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good evening and welcome back.
good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Okay, am
evening.
I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Subrat Babu, I want to start with you. You just brush up the last within 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. The last class, so we have discussed regarding investment management, and it
Yeah,
was kind of investment, characteristic of investment, objective of investment, type of investment.
yeah. What else? This much. We have also differentiated between investment versus speculation
Yes, sir.
versus
Yes.
gambling
Yes,
and
sir.
various investment avenues
Yes.
available, particularly the developing nations like India.
Correct,
Yes
sir.
or no?
Correct, sir.
Okay. So let us proceed with the next part of our discussion. So this much we have already discussed. Is it visible to all of you? Is my screen?
Yes, sir. We are able to see.
So what are you watching on my screen?
It's investment avenues in India.
In India. So last class we have already discussed up to this. Okay. So let us quickly proceed with the other part of this fundamentals of investment management. So now going to discuss about fundamental principles of investment. Okay. So these fundamental principles of investments are derived from the common characteristics of the investment. What are the common characteristics of the investment? Return is a must, risk is a must, then safety of fund must be there. No, hedge against inflation must be there.
Correct.
Are you getting what I am saying?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So on the basis of that, we are going to discuss about the fundamental principles of investment. So let us start with the first one, the safety of fund. Safety of fund, when we can say as an investor, when we can claim that our funds are safe? Can you tell me? Let's say you are one individual investor, you are investing somewhere else. When you can assure yourself, or when you can say my funds or my investment amount is secure, that's it.
Yes, we can create FD in bank.
Create FD in BM. That means where there is a minimum default risk or no default risk.
Correct.
ये default risk क्या होता है? Actually, suppose you are putting your money into any commercial bank. So here, if the commercial bank is taking your money, if the commercial bank will not pay your principal amount, neither your principal nor your interest at the time of maturity, that means simply we can say that the bank is the defaulter. So this arises due to defaulter risk. Okay.
Yes.
So here minimum default risk is there. There we can assure ourselves that our fund is safe. So for safety of fund, please remember, go for rated securities. Rated securities means that that means these agencies, they are just rating the securities. On the basis of their rating, they are also rating like A+, A++, A triple+, like that. Okay. So on the basis of this, if you're buying or if you're acquiring the securities in your investment basket, that means say that my funds are safe. So you should go for rated securities or blue chip companies securities. So what is a blue chip company? Just remember, in a common sense, I can say blue chip company means these are those corporate entities Those who are
Making high
earning
profit.
huge amount of profit year after year and so on. That means these entities are earning profit year after year. Last year they have earned some amount of profit. This year they are earning more than that. Next year again they are earning more than that. That means they are earning continuous amount of profit year after year and so on. So these are the blue chip company. If the company is earning very good amount, that means it can able to pay the good return to its investors. So it is better to go for rated securities or blue chip company securities. Again, counterbalance high risk in loan with low risk in investment. You need to, as an investor, I can suggest, you need to counterbalance yourself. That means a high risk in loan with low risk in investment. Okay. So by balancing this, you can assure yourself that your fund is in a what you can say, safety environment, or you can say in a safety mode. So the first fundamental principle of investment is safety of fund, and the second one is liquidity. Liquidity means what? Securities which can be sold easily at a premium. Let's say you are holding any security. Security means what? It may be stock, it may be share, it may be your debt instruments like your bonds. So whenever you are holding these securities, you can able to sell it easily without any hurdles at a premium. Let's say I am holding a particular share, its price. Tomorrow I want to sell that. I can sell at a 10 or more than 10. If I'm selling at more than 10, that means I'm getting some amount of premium. Regardless of remaining terms to maturity, credit quality, and issue size. We can say that our investment is having some sort of liquidity. Again, next principle, fundamental principle of investment is yield. Yield means what? Return. So to be attractive, the investment securities must pay a reasonable return for the risk assumed. So in our last class, we have already discussed that whenever we are going for any kind of investment, so our expectation is to get return side by side, we must assume some amount of risk. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So to be attractive, the investment securities, the securities must pay a reasonable return. As an investor, let's say you are expecting 30% rate of return. So if you are getting 30% of rate of return, that means you can say that my investment is giving me good amount of yield or good amount of return. Risk is there. You are assuming the risk, no doubt about it. So the form of price appreciation and periodic coupon interest. What is price appreciation? Please remember, price appreciation means capital gain. Okay. So let's say you are holding a particular share, equity share, at a price of 10 rupees. Advantage, you are selling it at a price of 20 rupees. So what is the amount of gain here? Today you are holding at 10 rupees. After 7 days, you are selling it as 20 rupees. What is the amount of gain?
10 rupees.
10 rupees. So why does this happen? 10 rupees. This happens due to price appreciation of the stock. यहाँ पे price appreciate हो रहा है, depreciate नहीं हो रहा है.
Correct.
Try to understand. Yes or no? 10 rupees increase to 20 rupees. So definitely price appreciation is there. So return in the form of price appreciation. Otherwise, if you are holding the stock or the security up to the maturity, definitely you will get the coupon interest. Coupon interest means if you are holding debt instruments, you will get if you are holding equity instrument, you get dividend. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, did you understand?
Sir,
Yes,
coupon
sir.
interest means dividend.
Which one?
Coupon interest means
Coupon interest means this is rate of interest printed in the debt instruments. Suppose you are buying a particular debenture from a particular company. Suppose Reliance Industries Limited is there. You are an investor. You want to buy right now. Reliance Industries Limited is issuing some debenture instruments. That means debt instruments. Let's say one debenture nominal value is 100 rupees. So how much you will pay? You will pay 100 rupees. So once you will pay the 100 rupees to Reliance Industries Limited, what you will get? You will get the debenture certificate. Yes or no?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So once you are getting the debenture certificate, in the debenture certificate, actually the rate of interest must be printed. This is to certify that investor name, your name, okay, has already acquired a particular stock or particular debenture at 100 rupees, the nominal price or face value at a 10% rate of return or 10% per annum at a interest of per annum or 12% per annum or 15% per annum. And here your interest rate is printed on your debt certificate. Did you understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. For that, there is specific
Coupon interest
format.
means the rate of interest which is printed on the investment instrument. It will be debt instrument. You are paying money. In return, what are you getting? You are getting a piece of paper, A4 size piece of paper. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So whenever you are getting a A4 size piece of paper, that means this A4 size piece of paper is having some amount of value. Please remember, it is a legal document.
Correct.
Okay, so your coupon rate must be printed. Did you understand? Asutosh Nanda sir is asking, have you any lock-in period of debentures? So, Asutosh Babu, it depends upon the actually issuer. Issuer means the company or the entity who is going to issue the debenture. When issue available on the basis of that, it is there. Let's say 2 years lock-in period. Within these 2 years, you may not able to withdraw any fund. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Did you understand, Asutosh Babu?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Chalo. So, other fundamental principles of investment instruments are like your diversification as well as flexibility. What is diversification? That means sectoral diversification. So, diversification for large companies more easy than the smaller companies. So, what does it mean? Let's say you are holding the securities or stock from a particular sector. You know sector? IT is a particular sector. Steel is another sector. Or you can take the example of your cement is another sector. Okay. You can also classify manufacturing sector and service sector. Banking, under service sector, IT sector is there, banking sector is there, telecommunication sector is there. Okay. Suppose you are holding IT sector stocks. So at any point of time, if you are watching that the IT sector stock price is going to be decrease, at that point of time, you are able to diversify. You can withdraw the stocks from the IT sector and you can put your amount into other sector. It may be banking sector, it may be hospitality sector, it may be your what you can say, steel sector or cement manufacturing sector. So diversification for large companies more easy than the smaller companies. Please remember why diversification is required. Diversification is required to minimize the risk. Okay. So reshuffling the portfolio at regular interval. What do you mean by portfolio? I'll discuss about portfolio. Please remember, portfolio means nothing. It is your investment basket which contains some amount of security. Okay. Let's say you are holding a basket of chocolates. In the basket of chocolates, varieties of chocolates may be available. Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So whenever you are holding a basket of chocolate, in your basket of chocolate, let's say 2 Cadbury's are there, 3 Nestle chocolates are there, and another 4 or 5 other chocolates are there. Okay. So these are the variety of chocolates you are holding in your basket of chocolates. Exactly in your investment basket, what you'll do, you have to put some investment instruments. Let's say my basket of investment total amount is 1 lakh. In 1 lakh, I can put 50,000 equity shares, 20,000 preference stock instruments, again another 30,000 debt instruments. So this has to be decided by the investor. Please remember, their portfolio is like this. That doesn't mean that your portfolio is fixed. ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई मैं 50% इन्वेस्टमेंट कर दिया इक्विटी शेयर में, मतलब इट कैनॉट बी चेंज. नो, it must be changed. So whenever you are changing, that means you are diversifying your portfolio. Why you are diversifying? You are diversifying in order to minimize the risk. Okay. Subrata, what we can see in one window?
Sorry, I am talking about their portfolio and a different type of investment. We can see that in portfolio one window. That means I just wanted to explain that.
Portfolio.
Your portfolio, I will summarize for this.
Portfolio means what? Actually, portfolio means what? It is the investment basket. That means what you can say, composition of securities.
Correct.
In a particular basket of investment. Composition of your security. That means investment instruments in a particular basket of investment. That means that composition can be changed in order to minimize the risk. Okay, so that is known as your diversification. So diversification is required. That means sometimes you have to withdraw from some sector and you can invest in other sector, or you can withdraw from equity and you can invest in debt instrument, you can invest in money market instruments like. So reshuffling of the portfolio must be at a regular interval in order to diversify the risk. So because of this diversification, we can able to minimize the risk because our expectation is fixed. As an investor, if I am expecting that I am going to get 30% rate of return, so always we want maximum amount of return by taking minimum amount of risk. So in order to undertake this minimum amount of risk, diversification is quite essential. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And next fundamental principle is about your flexibility. Flexibility means what? The portfolio should be flexible in terms of debt equity mix. Suppose right now you are investing in certain investment avenues. Entire amount of investment consists of 50-50. 50 belongs to equity instruments and 50 belongs to debt instruments. So in near term, the composition. Your equity may be 70%, debt may be 30%, or debt may be 70%, equity may be 30%, like this. Okay, so the portfolio should be flexible in terms of debt and mix. If the portfolio is fixed, then it is quite difficult to manage the risk. Is it clear?
So there is one in hybrid system, something like that.
Which one?
Hybrid is something. I'm not sure about it.
Hybrid system means what? It is mix up in between these two. Debt equity mix. Suppose you are holding a particular instrument which is having some characteristics belong to equity and other characteristics belongs to debt, like
Thanks.
instrument.
Thank you.
That is hybrid. Okay, mix up of these two.
Yes, yes, I got it.
So this is all about fundamental principles of investment. Now you can see these are some investment instruments. Categorically, these instruments consist of money market instruments and capital market instruments. What are money market instruments? Treasury bills, repo, certificate of deposits, commercial papers, bankers' acceptance. Again, capital market instruments are also there. Under capital market instruments, equity shares, preference shares, debenture instruments, debt, these are there. Okay, so these are the various investment instruments. These investment instruments are otherwise also known as financial instruments or financial assets. Please remember. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about types of investment strategy. Suppose we want to invest some amount of money or some amount of fund. So what are the various investment strategies available for us? We need to follow some strategies on the basis of our future need. Generally, there are two types of strategies. Please remember, the first one is passive strategy. The second one is active investment strategy. Again, passive investment strategy consists of two models. The first one is the ladder or staggered maturity strategy, and the second one is barbell maturity strategy. So what are these? Let us understand. Someone is asking, sir, please bankers acceptance. Have you seen bankers check?
Yes, sir. Banker
Demand
checks,
draft.
demand draft.
Banker checks. It is just like that.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the similar kind of instruments. Okay, good. These are the types of investment strategy. The first one is passive investment strategy and the second one is active investment strategy. Again, passive investment strategy consists of these two models. The first one is ladder and the second one is barbell maturity strategy. So let us understand the first one. Under passive investment strategy, someone is asking, sir, please show the before slide. Which one? Roy Babu or Roy Madam?
Sir, the types of investment ର ପୂର୍ବ slide.
Types of investment strategy ର ପୂର୍ବ slide investment instrument.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Snapshot नबार किसी जरूरत नहीं. I will share these PPTs, but try to understand. Here also, please remember, dear friends, you are investing your time. You are not spending your time. Please remember. So why you are investing? Since you are investing, you should get something so that whenever you are preparing your exam, you can able to answer something. So that is my main intention. So try to understand fast. Definitely, I will share all these PPTs, PDF, whatever available with me in your group. Okay? Don't worry about it, but try to understand. Please. So how many types of investment strategies are there? Please proceed.
Passive or active, two types.
Two types.
Very good. So first one is passive. Again,
Second,
passive
active.
consists of two models. Let us understand the first one, the ladder strategy, maturity strategy. Then we'll discuss about the second one, barbell maturity strategy. So what is ladder? You know the term ladder? Have you seen ladder? Yes or no?
CD, sir, CD.
CD देखिछथि त सो सीडी रे कोन थाए हमें जो गोटे पर गोटे स्टेप जीवा पई सब गोटे गोटे कोन थाए in between these two parallel what you can say parallel sticks, there are some horizontal sticks also. अनरा दीटा गोटे लंबा स्टिक भितरे कोन मझिरे गोटे गोटे सब horizontal stick थाए. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Why sticks are there? It will help you to step up. That means gradually you can able to rise by placing one step ahead to other step. Yes or no?
Balance. Yes. Help to balance.
Yes. So ladder maturity strategy means what? Please remember, as an investor, what will do? In each and every period, we have to invest certain amount of money, certain amount of fund. Let's say we are fixing a particular period. The period is 1 year. That means time period is 1 year. Let's say this year we are starting from today. Today we are putting 10,000. At the end of the period, if the rate of return is 10%, so definitely you will get another 1,000 return. Are you getting my point? Again, in the second year, what we'll do? We'll put some amount of fund along with the return.
Yes.
Return we have already received at the end of the first year, 1,000. Yes or no?
Yes.
Today you are putting 10,000. Rate of return is 10%. So 10% of 10,000 is 1,000. At the end of the period,
yes.
What is your income? Return is 1,000.
1,000.
Again, at the end of the period, first period, 1,000 along with some extra amount of money you have to invest. So that gradually what will happen? You are investing in a continuous period. After a certain period of time, what will happen? Your securities are going to be matured. So you can able to get a regular rate of return. That means at the end of each and every period, you are going to get something. So management should specify a maximum acceptable maturity or holding period. Let's you are saying I can invest up to 10 years. That means in each and every year you are going to invest some money. The return you are getting from that money. So that after certain period of time, what will happen? You are going to get some amount of return in each and every year. Ashutosh Sunanda sir is saying compounding return. Definitely, sir. Definitely it is compounding return. Okay. So all securities are held to maturity. Managers acquire bonds expecting to earn a fixed yield over the life of the securities are spread approximately even throughout the maturity range, so that an equal proportion of the entire portfolio matured in. Okay. So since we are putting certain amount of fund in each and every year along with the return, so after certain period of time, some amount will be matured in each and every year. That means we are going to get regular return up to the period of maturity. Okay. So this is ladder. That means step by step we are investing. Today we are investing something. So at the end of the first year, again we are getting the return along with some extra, some other amount of investment. Then second year completion is there. At the end of the completion of the second year, again you have to invest. So after a period of time, you have to a regular rate of return. Okay. This ladder maturity strategy. And second one is about maturity developed by Barbell. So differentiate between bonds, primary purpose. Are you getting my point? Suppose you are going to buy some bond. So you are, whenever you are buying the bond for the purpose of liquidity and for the purpose of income. Suppose I am buying, there may be two types of bonds available. Let's say one is short-term bond and another one is long-term bond. Short-term bond means what? Its maturity period is certain period of time. Generally within the same period, 1 year.
1 year.
So once I'm buying those bonds, as and when required, I can able to sell those bonds and I can immediately get the cash. And whenever I am buying the long-term bonds, what I will get? I will get the rate of interest in each and every year. That means whenever you are getting coupon rate of interest in each and every year, that is your income. Let's say, let us take one example for your understanding. You are the investor. Total amount available with you is 20,000. You want to invest 20,000 in bonds. So there are two types of bond. One is short-term bond. Another one is long-term bond. Okay. 10,000 you are putting in short-term bond and another 10,000 you are putting in long-term bond. So why you are putting in short-term bond? That you are expecting that at any point of time I may need some. So when I need money, how I can able to convert it into immediate cash? That is your purpose. So that's why you are acquiring short-term bonds.
Just like
Its maturity
liquid
is
funds.
lesser period of
Can
time.
you give
As
example?
and when you need, you can able to sell the bond and you can able to get back your money. But whenever you are putting in long-term bonds, why you are putting? You are putting to get the income at the end of the first year or second year or third year or up to at the end of the maturity of the bond, you will get some good amount of return. So here, what Barbell said actually, on the basis of this strategy, investment of portfolio, that means 30 to 40% of your entire amount of investment must be put in certain investment instruments. Okay. That
Yes,
pay
sir.
market rates and normally traded at prices close to at par. That means as and when you need cash, immediately you can able to convert it into cash without loss of its value. So these instruments are primarily meant to meet the liquidity needs. Liquidity means what? As and when we need, we must able to convert it into cash
Yes.
without loss of its value.
Because of
Are you
there is
getting?
no locking period, right, sir?
Yes, no lock-in period is there.
Yeah.
So Ashutosh Babu is asking, sir, is that applicable only in bonds, not in equity shares? Equity shares are traded in the market as and when required, you can able to sell. Generally, in equity instruments, what happened, Asutosh Babu try to understand, lock-in periods are not available. Okay. As and when you need, you can able to transfer your shares. So in each and every day, actually trading process is going on in the stock market. So you can watch the market. So you need the money able to sell. Okay. So that's why we are talking about bond. So generally, out of your total amount of investment, 30 to 40% must be keep in short-term investment instruments, and rest 10% you have to invest in long-term investment instruments. So that what will happen, if you need immediate the liquidity purpose, that 30 to 40% investment amount, you can able to convert it into cash, so that you can able to meet your cash needs or short-term needs. And rest 60 to 70% can give you some steady returns or good amount of returns. Did you understand?
Yes, sir. Got properly, sir.
So this is your passive investment strategy. Next, what is active investment strategy? Active investment strategy means try to buy on a continuous basis. Continuous means what? Regular basis by the fund manager. Fund managers, they are the professional investors actually. They are having some amount of what you can say professional knowledge, having stock market, about money market, about economy, about the company or corporate. So buying and selling on a continuous basis by the fund manager. So when they're buying, there may be three situations. What are these? First one, there are some stocks or securities which are available for sale. And there are some securities which are available for trading. Trading means what? Buying and selling. And there are some securities which you must hold till to the maturity. That means once you are putting the money into that instrument, you have to wait up to maturity. And maturity period is also up. You have to wait. At the end of the 5 years, you can able to get your amount. Amount means the principal amount of investment along with the return. So the AFT means available for sale. Instruments are carried at market value in balance sheet with unrealized gains and losses included in the income. That means these are held for a shorter period of time. So as and when you are getting the opportunity, immediately you can able to sell those instruments. So here the fund manager is actively involving itself in the trading process. Okay. As I have already told you, held HTM are carried. That means historical cost adjusted for principal payments on the balance sheet, or gains and losses have no impact on held till maturity instruments. What does it mean? Let's say up to a period of 10 years. In each and every year, you have to invest 10,000. So total amount of investment is so out of total amount of investment 1 lakh, if you for the first year, so out of 1 lakh you have to deduct 10,000. Again in the second year you have to pay another 10,000. Like investment, another 10,000 deducted. So that means in your balance sheet there is no impact on gains or losses, if any. Okay, so active investment strategy is followed by the fund managers, those who are professional managers having a lot of knowledge about the market, about the securities, about the industry. So they can deal with the 3 categories of investment instruments, that some instruments available for sale, some instruments available for trade, and some instruments which are available and which are meant for held till maturity. Once you are holding those instruments, then you have to wait up to maturity. Okay. So this is all about various investment strategies. That means passive investment strategies as well as active investment strategies. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, can you please explain again the active strategy?
Active investment strategies.
Yes.
Active investment strategies means what? These strategies are followed by the fund manager, professional fund manager. Okay. So they are involving themselves continuously in the buying and selling of the securities because they are watching the at the market. By gathering all the information about the market, they are watching at the market. On the basis of the market information, they are buying, they are involving themselves about the buying and selling process. So when they are involving themselves in the buying and selling process, so they have to deal with these three situations. That means there are some stocks or some securities which are available for sale. There are some securities which are available for trade. That means you can buy and you can sell. Let's say right now I'm selling some security and immediately I'm going to buy other securities. That category is, again, there are some securities the fund manager can invest or put the fund. That means in that security, you are holding till maturity. That is known as your HTM, held till maturity. Once you are investing, then you have to wait up to the maturity in order to get some good amount of return. Okay.
Sir, can you please explain the AFS and like that? Actually, I could not follow due to my network issue in the previous.
Which one?
In the previous slide. Slide number 24.
24. Is it visible?
And now it is visible. What is AFS, AFT? I could not follow at that time.
AFS stands for available for sale. AFT stands for available for trading. HTM stands for held to maturity. I have already written in this slide. Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
So
okay,
active investment strategy means what? Just try to understand. That means here the fund manager. Fund manager means it is a person who is having the professional knowledge about the okay. That means this professional manager is gathering the information from the market, economy, and industry. So on the basis of that, it is coming across these three situations because it has to involve itself in the buying and selling process on a continuous manner. ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई मैं खरीद कर लिया और I have already bought some amount of stock. Once I have bought, that means it is stopped. That means I am not going to sell it. No. So here the fund manager will come across these three. There are some stocks or some investment instruments it has to acquire, which must be available for sale. And there are some investment instruments the fund manager has to acquire, which are for available for trading. Trading means buying. Some other investment instruments the fund manager has to manage or acquire, which are held. That means once you are buying, so you have to hold that stock till to the maturity. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That means a fund manager advisor, can say advisor is good, right?
Definitely, fund manager will play an advisory role.
Advisory role. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So next, let us discuss about the steps in the management of investment. So whenever we are going for your investment management, what are the steps we need to follow? So very quickly, let us just see what are the steps. The first step, formulate the objectives of the investment. On the basis of that, you have to prepare your investment policy. Are you getting my point? What is the first step? You need to formulate the objective of your investment. Let's say I am going for investment. I have some amount of fund. So I want to put that fund in any investment avenues. So first, you need to determine the objective of your investment. Why you are investing? So on the basis of your investment objective, you need to prepare your investment policy. Okay. And in the second step, what you'll do? Reviewing the investment needs of the bank. Bank means what? It is also what you can say, institutional investor.
Correct.
Or investor like you and me, individual investors. So in the second step, you have to review the investment needs. What are the why there is need for investment? So you need to identify the portfolio. That means whenever you are putting your basket of investment, so you need to determine what is the proportion of your entire investment to be put in the government securities, that is GSEC. What is the amount of investment need to be put in state government bonds? in municipal bonds, in private company, securities, etc. So you need to identify the portfolio and assess the risk, how much risk the bank or the investor can able to. Please remember, otherwise you may collapse.
Yes, sir.
Each and every individual, each and every institutional investor is having a certain or to some extent having risk absorbing capacity. So assess the risk. On the basis of your risk assessment, you just determine how much risk you can able to absorb. That much risk you have to retain. Otherwise, what will happen? You may collapse. At any point of time, you may incur substantial loss. So second step, you need to review the investment needs. On the basis of that, you have to prepare your portfolio. And in the third step, again, determining the tax position. हम लोग तो इन्वेस्टमेंट कर दिए. सो इन्वेस्टमेंट करने के बाद हमको क्या मिलेगा? रिटर्न मिलेगा. अगर ज्यादा रिटर्न होगा तो हम लोग को ज्यादा टैक्स पे करना ही होगा. So how we will get some tax reliefs? So that's why you need to determine the tax position. If I will invest this much, what will be the tax burden on me? On me means as an individual investor or investors. So for that reason, you must go for proper tax planning. You must go for proper tax planning. Nanda Babu is asking about STT, Security Transaction Tax. Whenever you are trading your securities, so you have to pay some transaction tax also. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So STT stands for Security Transaction Tax. Is it clear? Thank you. Chalo. So next step, you need to determine the tax position. That means how you can able to manage your tax. That means as an investor, always we want to pay minimum amount of tax. On the other hand, the tax department always wants to get maximum amount of collection of tax.
Yes, sir.
So you need to coordinate the investment and liquidity planning. Okay. So whenever you are investing, you need to coordinate your investment and your liquidity planning. That means you need to coordinate between your short-term and long-term investment. Short-term and long-term investment. Short-term investments are generally meant for liquidity planning, and long-term investments are generally meant for actual investment, which can give you the good amount of return. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then just estimating the need of the diversification units, industries, maturity, geography, equity versus debts. You need to estimate the need of the diversification. Diversification means what? Why you need to diversify? The main reason is to minimize the risk. Because our intention is to minimize the risk and maximize the return.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you need to estimate the need for the diversification. So whenever you are going for your diversification, in order to minimize the risk, you can change the units. Let's say you are holding 100 units of stock. Right now, you can sell 50 units of stock. You just hold another 50 units only. And by selling that 50 units of stock, you can able to buy debt instruments, bond instruments, or money market instruments. So you can diversify your units. You can also diversify the industries. Let's say right now I am acquiring the stock of IT sector. I want to change, withdraw my money from the IT sector, and I can put banking sector. That is also possible. Yes or no? Maturity. I am holding some amount of stock. Withdraw from that category. You have to put it for 15 years or 10. Geography. Geography means what? Geographical location. Let's say you are investing in a particular country or particular territory. So you can also withdraw from withdraw your money from that area. Right now, let's say you are you can take one example. You are one investor, you are investing your money in Ukraine or Israel. War is going on. Because of the war, the stock price may fall. Yes or no? Because of the falling of the stock price, you may also incur some amount of loss. In that case, what you will do? Immediately you just sell those stocks and get back your money and you need to invest in some other geographical location also. Are you getting my point? So in this way, you can able to investment. Yes. ऐसा नहीं कि only you can invest in gold. You can invest in also real estate sector. Those pattern. So you need to determine on the basis of that and diversify. Okay. So this is about the second step. That means reviewing the investment need. The needs, you need to proceed to the third step. That means on the basis of that, you have portfolio. Investment portfolio policy. That means what should be your size of investment portfolio, pattern of investment portfolio, proportion of different portfolio, maximum maturity period, scheduling the maturity duration. So all these things you need to consider in order to formulating the investment portfolio policy. Okay. So these three steps you need to follow whenever you are going for managing the investments. Is it clear? In first steps, we need to fix the objective of the investment. And in second step, we have to determine the review investment needs of the investor. In the we need to formulate the investment portfolio policy through which we can able to for the investment and manage our portfolio. Is it clear to all of you? Did you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, is there any problem-based question in our examination?
What happened?
Is there will be there any solving problem in our question, exam question on this?
Yes, 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 yes. We
Why
have.
not?
Actually, I
Evaluation
have
of
gone
risk
through
and
previous
evaluation of
year's
expected
question.
rate of return from the portfolio. That may be the question.
Okay.
Risk return
Because
or
we are talking about risk and return. Theoretically, if we are talking about risk and return, risk is more means what? How? What is your quantum of risk? You need to determine. You need to access.
Yeah.
That means you need to assess, evaluate. You need to determine your degree of risk. Again, we are talking about return. Return means what? What is the exact amount of return you need or expected amount of return you need? So expected rate of return calculation is there. Degree of risk measurement is also there.
Sir, will be there any
Evaluation of
class?
portfolio is also there.
Sir, will be there any class of your class for this purpose for solving problem?
Yes, definitely. Bond evaluation is also there. How we are going to evaluate the bond? What are the various methods? Few methods I will discuss definitely.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So since we are discussing from the beginning, so some basics.
Another query. If you kindly explain in a short, what is a repo financial investment?
What are you asking?
Repo.
Repo.
One of your previous slides, there was a mention of repo financial investments instrument. So what is the type of
REPO?
Yes.
That is repurchase rate here.
Okay.
Repo rate, you know, that is fixed by RBI.
Yes.
Repo, reverse repo.
Yes.
Repo means what? The rate at which the central bank is
charging
lending to the commercial banks.
Yes,
and the reverse is known as reverse repo.
Definitely, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It is fixed and by provided RBI. Right now, sir, it is 6.5. Am I right?
That may be actually. Yeah. I need to check also. You can verify, please.
Because I have seen one agreement in that an organization.
That may be definitely more than 6% actually. Otherwise, how the fixed deposit rate will come 7% or more than 7%?
It was higher, but I think it was in reduced last year. I think so. I'm not sure about that.
Actually, three times RBI has already increased 50 basis point in repo rate. Okay, 50, then 50, then 50. 50 means what? 0.5. Let's say 6. Earlier it was 6, then 50 basis point means 6 to 6.5. Prior to 6, it was 5.5 also. Okay. During last 2 years, I think. You can cross check or verify.
Yeah, I will check that. That's not issue, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more query? Okay.
No,
Ashutosh
no, sir.
Sundar
Actually,
sir
there
already
is
confirmed that it is 6.5.
6.5. Okay, sir. Actually, the one query regarding that, as Mr. Pinaki Babu has said, so there, I think there's expected return and expected risks. There will be probably calculation question will be appearing in the exam, right?
Risk assessment is there and expected rate of return is there.
Okay.
Okay. So in order to assess the risk, actually, we are using some statistical techniques. I hope you have already studied about computation of standard deviation, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, standard deviation and coefficient of variation. So these are some measures,
Okay.
statistical measures we need to follow in case of our investment portfolio also in order to determine the risk. But
Correct.
in order to determine the expected return, we can also follow some model like your CFA model in your financial management. I think you have already studied capital asset pricing model. Arbitrage pricing theory is also there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Sir, I would like to request you at your last part of this training session, if you kindly share with us some expected question for our coming examination, then that will be a great help for us.
Actually, expected questions there. Okay.
You know that, sir, I am not in this field. So
wherever you are talking about this expected question, these all are what you can say. You can only predict. Your may not be true.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because
Yes,
here
sir.
what happens? Let's say I'm just interacting with you with this online classes or PCB personal contact program classes. So let's say I'm sharing something with you, and
Thank you, sir.
someone may be the question setter and someone may be the evaluator. So are you getting? So the basic concept you just follow. So
Yes.
you just
Sir,
follow
sir,
last 3 to 4 years previous exam questions. You just gather the information so that you can able to get some ideas about the questions. Okay.
okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Is it fine to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fine.
Any more query?
No, no, sir.
Okay. So tomorrow we are going to discuss about the rest part of our discussion. Then we'll proceed to next part of our discussion. Okay. So for
Okay.
today, this much. So thank you everyone once again for joining with me.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Great time.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Good night,
Yeah.
everyone. Thank you so much.
sir. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, friends. Bye, everyone.